Hello legends, welcome back to the channel. Today we're trying to find out if you can get a good set of tungsten darts for £4. Hey legends, welcome back to the channel. It is your boy Link as always. We've reviewed like fake football shirts and stuff before, trying to save you guys a bit of money, and I've been playing a lot of darts recently. So I was just kind of curious, like, can you get fake darts? And I couldn't really find like fake darts on somewhere like DHgate. I did notice some on Wish, but the same ones that I saw on Wish, I also found on eBay for £4. These are 20 gram tungsten. Doesn't specify how much tungsten, so it's 70%, 80%, 90%. I don't know, I don't have the scientific means to find it either. We'll have a look and have a guess. They're 20 grams, they come with the stems, they come with some flights, which got some cool like Native American skulls on, which is pretty cool. But yeah, let's find out if they're any good. I'm really curious because, as you know, if you are a dart player yourself, darts can be quite expensive. Like, the most recent darts I reviewed on the channel, which was my first darts video I did, were these Dennis Priestley's, which cost me £35. So you could get, what, 8 sets for this? Is it 8? 4 8s? Of course 4 8s is 32, that's 2 double 8s is double 16. Quick darts maths there. So let's get them open. These came from eBay. They took about 3 weeks to get here. They're £4.14 including VAT. Free postage. Doesn't feel like there's enough stuff in there for there to be darts in there. Okay, so they come in a little baggie. First impressions are they actually look quite nice. Like, I don't know if I can get the camera to focus on what's in there, but they look okay. They've got little point protectors on the needles. They've got little point protectors on the points. It's because they advertise them as steel needle darts. So they've almost got like a metallic black kind of coating on them. Almost, which is quite unusual. They're a different shape to what I normally would throw. Completely different weight. I normally throw heavy darts. Like my Dennis Priestley is 26 grams. These are just 20s. The stems. Is that plastic? Sometimes these little anodized ones. But that's plastic to look like a metal stem. Or is it metal? Sounds like metal when you screw it in. It doesn't look that good assembled. Here's the little flights that come with it. Got some way kind of almost like Venom-esque Native American. Reminds me of the Chicago Blackhawks kind of. Like a very thick flight. Probably can't see that in imagery, but that's like a thick boy, like a 100 micron, 150 micron more probably I'd say. And then your flight goes in like that, so that's a nice looking dart. But how will they throw? I've dropped all the bits on the floor. Just quickly, they're supposedly tungsten. Now I've assembled it. This is a 23 gram Gary Anderson dart, which is 80% tungsten, I believe. This feels heavier. If you look at the barrels, it looks like there's less metal in the Gary Anderson one that's heavier. So this is definitely a higher percentage of tungsten. But then I have these 18 gram unicorn brass barrels, which don't weigh as much. I don't have scales which are sensitive enough to weigh darts, so I couldn't be like scientific in terms of weighing it and doing it properly for you, which is what I would rather have done. But it weighs it weighs more than this, which is 18 gram, and it's thinner than that. So I do believe, although it has got an extra little extension at the top, look, if you look at a slightly longer barrel, I do believe it could be tungsten. If it is, it's probably like 60, 70%. It's probably not high grade stuff. Let's get them assembled and give them a throw. The stems definitely are metal. Listen to this. That's just the 2 stems in my hand, chinging away. So they're definitely metal. I'm going to get them built, and then the next thing you'll see will be how good they are. I just want to talk about the feel before I throw them really quickly. Now, I normally grip at the back of my Dennis Priestley darts. Also, my Phil Taylor Phase 5s, I grip towards the back of the torpedo shape. But with these, I want to hold them in the little scalloping in the middle. That's where it feels right, which is unusual. Also, they feel quite nice. The grip looks grippier than it is, though. They've got kind of like a coating on. Whether they've got a coating on to try and make them look expensive, it's not a grippy coating like a titanium nitride coating you get on like expensive darts. Let's throw them and see how good they are. I'm nervous. And as well, they're only 20 grams, so I'm used to 26 gram darts. I do sometimes throw a 23, but 6 grams lighter than what I'm used to, these little guys. So don't expect a 180. Here we go. Really? That's not possible. What's just happened? What the fuck? If you're watching that, you probably thought I couldn't throw them or they weren't sharp or something. I left the point protectors on. Professional review this. Alright, they're sharp now, I promise you. Very light, but also very slippy. Like that grip is like a cheap kind of coating. But if you're someone that doesn't like loads of grip, also that stem is loose already. They have got the little circles on where you can tighten them. I don't really use stems like that now, but so what? They're not the worst darts I've ever thrown. And they look nice. They do look nice. Where they're really light, I feel like I'm having to like really go for it to get them to go where I want them to. I was just wondering where they hit each other if they'd scratched anything, but they haven't. So the coating is quite hard. It's not scratching off when I do that, which is a good sign, because sometimes when you've got the coated darts, they hit each other and then the coating just disappears. I hate that. It's too light, that third dart got carried away. What these remind me of is like, you know when you, not so much with consoles now, but you know like in them PlayStation 2 days, when you only had one real PlayStation controller, and when you had a friend come round, they weren't allowed to use the real PlayStation controller. You used to always give them like the Player 2 controller, like the fake one from Argos. That's a bit like these darts are like, but they're not awful. They're too light for me, so they're not for me. But for £4, they look nice enough to fool someone. Someone that doesn't know what they're talking about, they're going to look at these and think, oh, they're nice darts. They look cool. If you run a pub or something for £4, they look really nice. They've got metal stems as well, which will last longer than nylon. The nylon ones break all the time, so the metal ones probably last better. So from that point of view as well, for a pub or something, it's perfect. But just not that grip there. But honestly, for £4, I'm shocked how good they are. So in summary, they're not the best darts I've ever had, but These unicorn darts that came free with my board many years ago, which is just like my brass sort of cheap spare darts for, you know, when you've got people over that you don't trust to play with your expensive ones. Compared to these are better. These are far superior to this brass one. As you always notice, from like brass to tungsten, there is a big upgrade in the slenderness and the feel. But that coating on there is not, it doesn't feel as tungsten-y as something like this. But I like something with a lot of grip on like this. So they're probably not, they wouldn't have been for me anyway. But honestly, for £4, you cannot go wrong. I think they're a brilliant deal. If you're trying to save money, if you're just starting out even, if you just bought a dartboard, especially some of the good dartboards are expensive, now like 75 quid, and you just want a cheap set of darts to start yourself off with. For £4, I would really recommend them. And if you want a spare set for friends that come round, I'd recommend them. But if you run like a pub or something, or a youth club, or somewhere where, if you run something where people might accidentally take them home, if you run somewhere where people might accidentally take the darts home, for £4 you can't go wrong. You really can't. When I score these out of 10, the looks is good. The feel is really good for the price. They throw really nicely for the price. They feel consistent to one another. I wish I had some really good scale so I could get you a super accurate measurement of what these guys are actually like. But for £4, honestly, you cannot go wrong. You can pay £1 for a set of shafts and a set of flights, and these feel as good a quality as anything really. Flights are flights, aren't they? The flights are worth £1. I'd pay £1 for them flights because I like them. I probably wouldn't pick them stems, but I'd pay £1 for them. They feel good enough quality that they're worth £1. They're like they remind me of the old unicorn ones from back in the day, like they used to always get on the Phil Taylor darts and stuff. So really, you're paying sort of £2 for the barrel, if you look at it like that. Is it worth £2 for them barrels? Absolutely. Absolutely. And now, like, my mind is just wondering what spare stems and flights I have to make these just look cool. But these look cool as they are, but I just want to play around with them. A bit like how my sort of spare ones, you got your Raymond van Barneveld camo flights in. I just like them to look cool. In terms of score out of 10, I'm actually going to give these a 7 out of 10. Now, the reason it's so high is just because of that value. If these had cost £35, like my Dennis Priestley ones, I'd probably give them like a 3 or 4 out of 10. But because they were £4, it's worth so much more in terms of value because they're really good for £4. I can't stress that enough. For £4, you just can't go wrong with them. You really can't. This is the second dart video I've done. If you want to see more, do let me know. I enjoy darts, and I try and do a bit of everything on the channel. So if you don't like darts, don't worry. Other stuff is coming. I've got some food videos coming up. I've got a few little food challenges coming. So keep an eye on the channel. Make sure you're subscribed and you have the notification bell on so you don't miss all the exciting videos that are coming up real soon. I'm not going to go throw these. I'm going to go throw these and have a bit of fun. Thank you for being one of my legends, and I'll see you real soon. Thanks so much for watching today, guys. If you've enjoyed that, you can click up here and you can watch another video of mine. Or if you really love it, if you really, really love it, or even if you just like it a little bit, go down here and subscribe to the channel. It means you'll never ever miss what is coming up real soon.